Shiet, what is up, you guys? I hope it's a beautiful day. I am back with part 3 of the Player Spotlight series, and today we're going to be covering one of the most polarizing players in the entire draft, Jordyn Tyson out of Arizona State. He is kind of one of these Jekyll and Hyde types of guys where he's got all the upside in the world and the downside to match. So let's get right into it. First and foremost, if you guys could drop a like and follow, I appreciate you. I always support you guys back. So let's get right into it. He is 21 years old. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. Really good size, exactly what you want in a guy that can be an alpha receiver for your team. Some of his strengths include elite body control. He can go up, high point the ball, come down with it, better than anybody else in this draft, in my opinion. He is a fluid route runner, separator, and a big play threat. He gets open at will. He can play inside. He can play outside. He's very effective in the X boundary role, but he's also effective in the middle of the field in the slot role as well. So that versatility is really nice to have. If you need an alpha receiver getting those targets, you can move him anywhere, scheme up touches on the outside or the inside. Talking about a guy with a lot of upside, just absolutely gushing upside. He's got an excellent release, super clean off the line, really polished, physical, good straight line speed, but not elite straight line speed. Good quickness for a guy that big, and I really like him a lot. He comes from an athletic family. His dad played college ball, and his brother is Jordyn Tyson, playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Really good player in his own right. So definitely good genes there. Like I said, super versatile, very strong hands, excellent jump ball guy. 31.2% target share, which leads this class. So he is an absolute target hog. He's going to be a guy you can roll out and just count on for plenty of touches, whether it's short, intermediate, deep. He can run all the routes. So really, really good. You can use him as an alpha. He excels versus man coverage, just a man beater. He had a 3.44 yards per route run against man coverage, which was, I believe, second in this class. So very good. If he comes out and runs a strong 40, showcases a little bit more straight line speed than we expect him to have, if it's like 4.45 or better, I think that helps him a lot to move up some boards. A very good run blocker. So he's very well rounded. You can really put him anywhere. He's not a liability if he's on the field. All of his tape is really good. Everything that I've seen from him over the last couple of years, whether it was at Colorado or Arizona State, the tape itself is very good and speaks for itself. That's not really the problem with him. When he's on the field, the tape is always good. He's an electric player, a guy that you should want to go get. So that brings me to the downside. I will say before I get to the downside, he does have the most upside of any wide receiver in this draft class, including Lemon and Tate. He's the guy that you are going to be looking up at, as a perennial all-pro guy that's just absolutely setting the league on fire. He has that potential being the key word. But the downside is going to be his injury history. So he busted onto the scene as a true freshman for the University of Colorado in 2022. 21.4 yards per catch, was one of the leaders in the nation, 470 yards, 4 touchdowns, until he played against Oregon and had a complete blowout of his knee. I'm talking about MCL, ACL, and PCL all needed to be completely repaired. So a complete blowout of that knee. Came back in 2023 and sat the entire season. And 2024, he ended up going to Arizona State and playing for them. Had a very successful 2024 season, broke onto the scene, 75 catches, 1,100 plus yards, 10 touchdowns, and broke his collarbone in 2024, conclude his season. So again, you're talking about major red flags with a reconstruction of his knee. Then you've got the collarbone injury, both long-term red flags, something that scouts and GMs are going to want to keep an eye on. 25 comes out, does pretty well, 61 catches, 711 yards, 9 total touchdowns. Solid, but again, his season ended because of a hamstring injury. He was saying that it was more of a precautionary deal where, he was sitting out just to play it safe, but obviously we can't be sure. So yeah, really extensive injury history, extreme red flags, probably more red flags than any other receiver in this class. That's the Jekyll and the Hyde, the good and the bad, the boom and the bust. So he is that kind of a guy. If you want to take a swing for the fences, that's your guy. If you're afraid of his floor, maybe you go with a guy like Lemon, a little bit safer, a guy who has done it consistently over and over again and proven to be that guy. So everyone has their preference, but he did miss over 40% of his college games that he was supposed to be playing in, which is a huge chunk of games, man. You've been talking about missing almost half your games. I mean, that's the best ability is availability, and he has not been available. So the upside is great, but the downside is very serious. So we'll see how that goes for him. I do believe in his ability, and I do believe if he can shake that injury history and that the injury-prone tag, I think that he can go on to be an extremely good player and potentially the best receiver in this entire draft. So I do still like him. I'm a little bit weary. High risk, high reward option. He did struggle a little bit with drops in 2024, 8% drop rate, came back in 2025, got it down to, I believe he only had one drop in 97 targets, so it was like 1.5% or so, which is much better. That's exactly what you want to see. Extremely good in 2025 in terms of drop rate. Some of the comps that I see, watching tape on him, I think CeeDee Lamb is a good comp because he is similar in size and stature. He can play inside, he can play outside, but extremely successful in the slot, uses sort of a physicality to get open rather than like straight line speed and just outright quickness, uses his body to his advantage and gets open that way. Very good contested catches, very good catching balls in traffic and those kinds of things. So I think I see a similarity between him and CD. I see a little bit of London, see a little bit of Michael Pittman. They're a little bit bigger, but they can also play inside and kind of win similarly to the way Tyson does. So obviously those are big comps. Those are guys that are really, really good players. So in terms of ability, he can be there just on ability alone. Where I think he's going to end up in terms of rankings for Dynasty, ceiling got him top 3. I mean, he could be an elite wide receiver in this league, production-wise, so fantasy-wise, he could be right there with the best of them. But the floor is the thing that's scary. So I got his floor being like literally out of the league in a handful of years if he doesn't get this injury situation under control and he misses a bunch of games or just flops and has some drops and those things. He could be like wide receiver 30, 40 or worse. So there's potential for him to be here. There's potential for him to be here. I think the most likely scenario is for him to be somewhere in the middle, somewhere between that wide receiver 12 to 20 range. I think is a very realistic scenario for him, depending on where he goes. Now, a couple of the landing spots that I like best for him, the first one is going to be Tennessee. If he can get that really high top 5 draft capital, go to Tennessee. Talking about Cam Ward having no weapons on that team. They need an alpha. They need a guy that can command just a high target percentage. Why not go get the guy that has the highest target percentage in this draft? So I think that you can use him in a similar way to the way that Daboll actually used Malik Neighbors, where you can use him inside, outside, scheme up touches, short, intermediate, and deep. He can run routes on all 3 levels. So very well-rounded kind of a guy that you can just absolutely get the ball to constantly. So I think he would be a really good fit in Tennessee. He's less athletic, less speed than Neighbors, but still you can use him similarly. Their size-wise and their ability to get open is similar, and the versatility obviously too. So I really like that. I would love the Titans. Obviously Washington, Kansas City, and New Orleans all are probably looking for weapons on offense still. Those would all be good fits. Olave needs a partner and a guy that can get down the field and just command a little bit of respect, pull some of the coverage away, and open up that offense quite a bit. I think he could definitely do that. A fearless forecast for him, or should I say fearful forecast. I say if he stays healthy and everything looks good, I put him at about 72 catches in 2026 for 1,025 yards and 7 or 8 touchdowns. I think he's more than capable of doing that out of the gate within the right situation. So I really love his upside. When you turn on the tape, he is such a good player, and I just hope so badly that he can hold up because I want to see him have a long, successful career. You don't see guys with this talent come into the league every year. In terms of upside, he's got the most upside of any receiver in this draft and the most upside of any receiver in last year's draft in terms of production. I like his production profile a little bit better than a guy like Ted McMillan. Just in terms of upside, obviously, Ted's very good. But PPR leagues, I think Tyson probably has an edge in terms of what he can do. He's a little bit more versatile. But anyways, appreciate you guys always. All the support means so much to me, and much love. Peace out. Have an absolutely beautiful day.